Did you see the announcement of New York Ironman 70.3? Don't know many details, but it could be interesting race. One topic I would love to hear you guys talk about and opinions on, the pros and cons of inaugural races, tips, what to look out for, etc. I'm sure you guys have a ton of insight into this. Wendy, what have you heard about 70.3 New York?
So before Scott emailed me this question, I had gotten the email update from Ironman, and I haven't looked into it other than my initial reaction is, oh my gosh, they've done an Ironman in New York before, and it was a disaster from what I heard.
Hmm.
And I think you said it was in 2012.
Yeah.
And so the con of doing an inaugural Ironman is they just don't have all the kinks worked out. They might not have the kinks worked out with the city that they're hosting the event. Spectators, volunteers, if there's never been an event hosted in their city, they might not embrace it, and they might not enjoy it, and they might not want it to come back. Being Ironman as a corporation, and they've been around for so many years, all their events are pretty much the same. They have the same expo, they have the same, everything's the same. Like the website, the only details they change on their website is kind of the details with the way the course is, the swim, bike, and run. But for the most part, whenever I've gone to an Ironman, I can expect the same thing. I can expect the same emails. I can expect the same stuff at the expo, and the same, it's easy for them. And that is, I think, is a pro. When you're doing an Ironman sanctioned event, you know what you're going to get versus doing a non-Ironman sanctioned event. The local people, you just don't know what kind of quality you're going to get. I think Ironman brings a quality event, so that's a pro to having an inaugural event. In my mind, I like doing events that I've never done before. And so if I have chances that I get to do brand new events, first time events, I want to jump on it and I want to experience it. And so that would be a pro in my mind for that to happen.
When they had the race, the full distance Ironman New York, it was in 2012, and it was a combination of, I recall being Newark or New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey, and then coming back to New York. And it was as though there was nothing going on to the people who live there, because it's a huge city, but it really wasn't, New York City based. It was over New Jersey was the swim and the bike, and then it crossed over. And it was logistically a big challenge for people who were, they would sleep in New York and they would take this big ferry over into the swim start, which took like an hour to get there. And they jumped off a floating barge for the swim, and the water wasn't very clean. From what I was told, it was a challenging bike course. It was almost like, and it was super expensive at the time. I think it may have been over $1,000, which was a huge shock at the time.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out. I mean, not enough to where they would have a repeat. It was a one and doneer. This year's Ironman 70.3 New York is in Jones Beach Island, which is well east of New York, well east of Brooklyn. And it looks like it's very pleasant, actually, looking at the swim, bike, and run course. Just kind of talk you through some of this. It's a straight out and back, one loop of the swim course. They say off the white sands of Jones Beach. And then the bike course is pretty flat. My goodness. The elevation gain, 750 feet. So as you can imagine, that's really light over, 56 miles. And it's from this little island off the edge of New York, north and back. Straightforward. And then all the run is right there on that little island, on that Jones Beach boardwalk. And that is a 2-loop course because it's a small little area. But I don't know. Might be interesting. It probably won't be as crowded in terms of traffic as if you were in New York, where it's super expensive.
Yeah, and I think Ironman's been around for a long time. They know the quality that they've done, and they're going to make sure they maintain that same quality of a race. And so again, I really don't see many cons of an inaugural race other than maybe they're at a new venue and the weather that time of year may be a little bit different than what they anticipated. And so, but usually that's not a deal breaker for me. I always think it's cool when I go to races and they announce someone that has been that has been doing their race since the first one, and that this person has done 20 years of whatever race it is, So I think that's always pretty cool. If you do the first race, you might be someone who's motivated to continue doing that.
Yeah.
To say I'm on a streak. I've done Ironman 70.3 New York since 2023, and I'm going to do it every year until I can't do it anymore. I mean, I think that's kind of sometimes a cool thing to do and a motivating thing to do for some people.
This actually looks like it might be a fun little race. At the average water temperature 65, air temperature 70 in September, late September for this area. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the pictures on the website. It looks like it might be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think if things go, negatively or wrong in an event, it's usually like weather related. Oh, that was a horrible event, like the cyclone bomb in California. That happened the first year. It had nothing to do with Ironman. It had to do with Mother Nature. And so that's my view. I'd say if anyone wants to do an inaugural event put on by World Triathlon Corporation, Ironman, they should. They're going to get the same quality that they've had at other events.
And my guess too, since it's been a decade since they did a race in New York, that they've done the research, there's enough of a need for them to invest in this location to go to New York and do one, even though it's there on Long Island area. Hey, good for them. And hopefully you can do it. Then you can give us some feedback on how it went. And we'll see, I'm sure, videos of people's lead up and race day highlights. So you've signed up or you're thinking about signing up for this year's Ironman 70.3, but you need or want an online training plan from someone who's been there, done that.
And that's where the Endurance Hour comes into play. Dave has over 20 years experience as a triathlete, including completing 25 70.3s and 6 iron distance races.
And Coach Wendy is a 21-time Ironman finisher with 10 of those at the Ironman World Championship in Kona and dozens of 70.3 races under her belt. And together we have more than 50 years of triathlon experience.
We've put together comprehensive, detailed 12, 16, and 24-week training plans on Training Peaks, complete with swim, bike, and run course previews to set you up for success.
In addition to your swimming, biking, running, and strength training workouts throughout the plan, we also include instructional videos before every phase of training. It's a multimedia approach along with PDF resources, explaining workout terminology, bonus Q&A videos, and so much more.
We use Training Peaks because it's super convenient. You can sync your GPS or heart rate monitor device and download your workout data into the Training Peaks calendar, which you can view from your phone or your computer. You can leave comments and feedback and so much more. And you can also receive a free consultation with me with every purchase.
If you want to get started, the clock is ticking. Click the link below and start your road to this year's Ironman 70.3.